Hey guys, and welcome to our review for Murder on the Orient Express, directed by Kenneth Branagh, starring Kenneth Branagh, Johnny Depp, Daisy Ridley, Michelle Pfeiffer, Judi Dench, Josh Gad, Penelope Cruz, Leslie Odom Jr., Willem Dafoe, Derek Jacobi, Lucy Boynton.
Oof, wow.
From Sing Street.
Well,
My name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here by Tim McGavick.
What's up, man?
Not much. Not much, man. Tyler Switolski as well.
hey guys.
And Adam Frainie.
Ty's very excited today.
What are you
Put
talking
that knee
about?
down.
I've been
That's not his
joking
knee.
with him. Oh my.
That is my giant raging erection, Scott.
Oh, hello.
You love this movie, eh?
Somebody got
Embargo.
Kevin Spacey on the horn. This is not good.
Okay, that's what you
Tim,
do.
edit this out.
Tim, can you give us a little
Can you
synopsis?
give me some Kevin Spacey, please? You fucking creep. I mean, emphasis on the space. That was the pun, not Tim. Edit this out.
I can't.
You know we don't edit things, right?
Tim, edit that out.
Timmy boy.
You got synopsis. Oh, you asked me for
Welcome
synopsis.
to the final
Okay.
episode of
The
Up
synopsis,
Late.
please.
It's been a pleasure.
For the viewers.
A murder on a luxury train leads one of its passengers, the world-renowned detective Hercule Poirot. Did I do it?
Crushed
Nailed
it.
it. Yeah.
Hercules Poirot to ignite an
It's not good.
Poirot.
an investigation to find out which of the passengers is the murderer.
He doesn't kill lions, okay? It's not Hercules.
Hercules kills lions.
Murder on the Orient Express.
The Rock.
Tyler, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on
Moto.
this film?
Johnny's back.
Moto, if you will.
I like to say he never left.
Johnny never left. He just keeps making movies.
He's
Sorry,
back. He plays a creep.
He left good movies.
He still made movies though. That's what I expected. This was an enjoyable movie. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it.
I did.
enjoyed
I
it.
didn't love it. I didn't love it.
You enjoyed it enough to watch it 1.5 times.
Yeah, I would have watched it 2 times probably.
Twice?
Yeah, I probably would have watched it 2 times.
Really?
Yeah, a little disclaimer. We watched the movie 3 days ago. Well,
Yeah.
we watched most of it 3 days ago. And then all of a sudden the power went out in our theater. And everyone in the theater was handed vouchers.
We were
And
evacuated.
then evacuated.
It was terrifying.
We lost power in our theater.
I literally thought there was a murder.
We had to come back today to watch it again. So that was an interesting.
That was
turn of
exciting.
events. Yeah. Hey, you know what?
But the film itself.
The film
what do you-
itself, I really liked
You
it.
really liked it.
Yeah, I love mysteries. I love the ride.
Based on a novel from
Yeah.
Agatha Christie.
Yeah, yeah.
Famous.
I've always wanted to read the book. I never actually got around to it, and so this might spark me to actually.
But you know the
take
twist.
a look. What's that?
You know what happens.
I know, but it can still be, I'm assuming it's not like page for page, like exactly the same as the this book. So I don't know. Fuck it. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it.
You know what? Don't even read it.
I'm not gonna bother.
I mean, you don't even watch foreign movies, so you're not gonna read a book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
let's
who
be
would kidding,
honest.
right?
You always complain about reading.
I'm not gonna watch
subtitles.
subtitles on the screen. I'm not gonna read a fucking book.
That was different.
No, it's really good. I thought performances were pretty good. There wasn't anyone I thought was terrible.
Now, as a
Adam seems to disagree.
as
I
a
didn't say a word.
Frenchman
Yeah.
himself,
Yes,
Oh, you are.
I am French.
you
Yes, are.
eviscerated Ewan McGregor's accent.
I
How
did.
was Kenneth Branagh?
Kenneth Branagh had a very good accent in this. He was very good. And actually, funnily enough, I did come across a clip. I posted it in the chat. I'm not sure if you guys saw it.
Of Ewan, yeah.
Ewan
Yeah,
explaining his accent. I'm like, okay, so he went into it pronouncing it properly, and then they made him change it. So I'm sorry, he went to take it back. But Kenneth, he did really well. There was some parts where it was like, okay, he's saying that a little funky, but it worked though. It sounded really good. Loved his mustache. Loved his mustache.
Top 10 all time. You know what?
Top 5 all time.
Arguably
Very
the best
real.
mustache of all time.
That mustache guard
amazing.
he has.
Oh, so funny.
That is secret.
Yeah.
Holy
Even
shit.
funnier second time around.
Yeah.
I need that.
So good.
Pretty good.
Little plastic
Um,
thing that just perfectly shapes.
You should
to
do
his
that,
stash.
man. For last day
My
of
whole
November.
beard?
Like
Oh, do the
how it like comes to here.
Hercule Poirot.
Gangster.
Goes halfway across the cheek.
Yeah.
That's great.
And just like a second mustache coming out. It's
Yeah.
Very
There's
gross.
like 2 different lengths going on. It's
yeah. Really cool. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this movie.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
A
loved
nice little romp on the
Yeah,
train.
it was a fun romp on a train. Probably arguably the best time you can have on a train.
Mm.
Yeah.
A murder.
I mean,
yeah.
Someone got murdered.
Yeah.
But Adam, let's go over to you. What are your thoughts?
Also, I love Johnny Depp. He was amazing in this.
You seem a little bit, on edge right now. Like you don't agree.
Go. Fire away, Adam.
You watched it.
Go ahead.
Now you watched it in 2 separate occasions. You watched the first half on Thursday, second half today.
So you strolled into the theater halffay through.
Yes, he did.
Did you time it exactly right?
You're pretty close.
Almost.
Pretty
You're
close.
I didn't mean
You're
to.
off by 10 or 15 minutes.
Was I?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty disappointing.
Okay.
I liked the trailer a lot, and I was pretty excited. Thought it was very dull.
Really?
Very dull movie.
Okay.
I thought it was very lifeless. Like, I don't know, I was like, this is just so dull. Like, a lot of attempts at humor that I didn't find funny.
I laughed a couple of times.
He stepped in shit, and then stepped in it again. Hilarious.
On purpose.
I
Hilarious,
thought that was
right?
funny.
Found his accent quite cringe. Very animated.
I think his character was animated.
Didn't fit the movie. Because, like, I'm like, what? Are they playing it straight? Is this a comedy? Like, what is happening? I feel like there was not a good balance. I'm just, like, looking in your eyes. Just
Not
like,
a good balance. Hercule would be angry. I can't do it.
Yeah, how ironic. Hercule.
Hercule Pebble.
Hercule.
That was good.
I have an amazing English, Canadian accent, so that's why.
I don't know, I just did not love it. Like, a lot of green screen and, like, CGI train shots. And, like they're just, like, outside. Well, outside, but it's, like, clearly a green screen.
Yeah, I was confused by that because like the stuff that takes place before the train, I'm like, oh, this is real sets and stuff. This is looking great, and then
Right.
all of a sudden it's
The
like
train is
CGI
the same.
train, and like he's outside standing on top of the train, and it's like CGI mountain. I'm like,
Yeah, like on the mountainsides in the snow.
So it
It's
looked
just
great.
like green screen. I'm like, oh god, it's cringe. And his mustache, I loved it, but it's like clearly fake. Like there's no way he grew that, right?
No, it takes a long time to grow a mustache.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
that's
way.
fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
It just looked like wig hair, kind of like this.
The little chin bit did look a little
I was
distracting.
like,
Still looked gorgeous though.
just like fixated on it.
Yeah.
Uh,
It got better with time.
Yeah, it's just dull. I don't have anything to say either way. It was just like a dull movie to me.
In my mind, I'm hitting you with a car right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'll jump in. I thought this film was fine. Like, I didn't think it was disappointing necessarily. I thought it delivered exactly what I thought it was going to be. A nice little murder mystery. I mean, I already knew what was going to happen going into it, so I wasn't like I didn't have any other expectations for it. Like, I knew what happened, so my expectations were met. I thought the performances were pretty good all around. I will say one fault with this movie is sort of
It's fine.
like emotionally, it's hard to get in the mindset of some of the characters and their motivations necessarily, while explained eventually. It's hard to sort of get on their side.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Stuckman's review, and he's like, just because of the nature of the characters and like the situation, they're all very guarded.
Right.
Obviously, because they have like this world-renowned detective that's like prying into their private lives, and because of that, you don't really get much character depth
Right.
until like it gets explained to you at the end.
Right.
Which I tend to agree with him on that.
Yeah.
You get a few characters that are a little bit more developed, but yeah.
Right.
Like some that are zero developed, I will admit. Like,
Yeah.
They count. Like
Forgot that they were on the train.
Who?
yeah, like there were parts where I was just like, I could have sworn I saw this guy at the beginning, and then like every once in a while I see him like in the corner of a shot somewhere. I'm like, there's something going on here.
You.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because if you go, it's sort of it's a tough line, because if you go too deep into some of these characters' backstory earlier, then you could potentially ruin the surprise.
Yeah.
So
of
argumentatively,
their
you could say they did it perfectly.
It's
If you were reaching.
it's hard. Maybe it's just the nature of it being like a whodunit, like classic style of film, like an old Hollywood style film.
I did like that.
Which is definitely not. It's an odd film nowadays. Like films these days, usually if they're going for this kind of murder mystery thing, it's not in the classic murder mystery sense. It would be more going into the backstory and going into the emotional core of these certain characters. like other, murder, like thrillers and stuff that come out these days. Like, say, like a Wind River, for example. We were talking about that off camera. Briefly. So it's a different sort of perspective to take on the story. But Kenneth Branagh, I think, he went for the classic old Hollywood version.
Yeah, it feels like an old Hollywood.
And I don't know, it's just a different approach, which I don't know, it was fun. It wasn't I wouldn't say it was bad, but I wouldn't say it was great. It was sort of pretty average. I thought it was a decent adaptation. I don't know. I thought it was okay. What do you guys thought?
You don't know. You're right.
He's spoken already. You're spoken already.
Tim?
I think it's a good little movie.
Yeah.
I like the performances. Didn't hate JD because he was a supporting character, which was nice.
I thought it was fine.
I liked him in it. I thought it was a fun character.
What else I want to say? I do like the...
Could have been anyone.
I mentioned this before, off camera.
It wasn't bad.
There's a corner gas joke that gives away the ending. Forgot about that. Thank God, because it did take me for a surprise. Like, I was generally mystified. I'm like, I wonder who did this.
Yeah.
What is it? When I find out, I was like, oh, okay.
Interesting.
I like it. Not bad. But yeah, it's a good little movie.
I feel like this
You could do worse.
I feel like this didn't feel as single location as I wanted it to. Like
bizarre.
The weird thing is like it was all like on the train, in the cars,
didn't
off
commit
the car.
to literally all on the train.
I feel like if it had been shot a little different, like someone who who does well, like with has experience with doing single location films.
Like if they started while they're already on the train.
Yeah, I would have cut that opening part.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that was a slog.
Yeah.
Well, even just start with him just getting on the train,
100%.
He's in the train station, they're interested in Johnny Depp's character and stuff like that. At the train station, that would have been okay with. Start there and then go onto the train.
Ironically, I watched a film today called Stagecoach, which you guys might know. Henry Ford, starring what's his name? The classic Western guy. What's his name? John Wayne. And it's these ragtag characters. This is weird. I watched this ragtag group of characters, unintentional, and they get on the stagecoach and they go on this journey. And the way that movie was shot, they did it much quicker. You get a little bit of tidbit, a little bit of info, and then they're on the stagecoach, really quickly. It's almost like it was in comparison, it would be like them already in the station, just getting onto the train and then going.
Yeah,
that sort of speed of editing.
Yeah.
Instead of the whole sequence of that sort of scene with he's figuring out what happened with the priest, the imam, and the rabbi. That whole thing didn't even need to be there.
No.
That felt like a deleted scene.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Weird way to set the movie. I was like,
should we give our ratings and then maybe we can get into some spoilers, because I'm sure we can discuss a little bit more specifics. It's hard to talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Can't really say really anything.
I'll start off. I'm going to say 3.
Yeah, my
3 or
favorite
5?
number today. 3.
3.
It's a 3.
4?
Light 4?
Okay.
Light?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's high.
I'm going heavy too.
Oh! That is low.
Morton Joe, bud.
Low.
Mediocre. All right, well, fair warning, if you haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express, I mean that as in this film, 2017, or the 2010 TV miniseries, or the 2001 TV movie, or the 1974 film.
If you haven't
Or
seen
the
any of
book.
the murders.
Or read the book.
Yeah.
On the Orient Expresses.
And don't know what happens, fair warning, we will be discussing what happens. Spoiler warning over.
Yes.
So,
is there anything specific you guys... So you guys were surprised by the twist.
Yeah, I did not.
Everyone.
Everyone did it.
Everyone murdered.
Never seen
Everyone
that
was
before.
involved.
Very
That's pretty
surprised
cool.
by that.
I am confused.
Odd.
By?
I would hate to be that one guy that missed the train. Hercule gets on the train because someone has not shown up.
Mr. Harris.
Mr. Harris?
Yeah.
Who's Mr. Harris?
What do you mean?
How confused would he
Remember,
have
he
been
wasn't going to be on the train. Yeah.
if he shows up on the train, someone gets
If
murdered.
he had been on the train,
Yeah.
Right, because he was
Yeah.
30 minutes late, and
he would have been like, "This is a bizarre turn of sequence for me."
what a ride.
But yeah, it's interesting that like everyone teamed up to do it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
I liked
it's
it.
sort of a twist on the classic
Yeah.
murder mystery
Yeah.
because
Who done it? Y'all done it.
normally it's like there is someone and there
Yeah.
is a reason why that one person did it.
Yeah.
But in this time, it's like everyone has a reason.
Everyone
so
did it.
like no one expects that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, I didn't. Last thing I expected was that.
Which I mean, you can kind of. I
I
mean,
love it.
I went into the movie knowing that everyone did it, so I can
Oof.
kind of see. Okay, like I can see how they're sort of trying. They're all related to the child and what happened.
Yeah.
There and seeing how they're connected. So it was interesting going from that perspective as well.
It's pretty cool. I like the twist.
I didn't like the end. I feel like the end was too drawn out. Like when he's like sitting there like talking to them all, like they're all just kind of sitting there in the lineup.
I
Like
think I might agree.
he was explaining like the two different ways, the two things it could have been. It's like he didn't. I feel like that was like too much detail. He didn't have to go and explain all that. It's like just say you had the one theory and then just kind of go into that. Like I feel like he went in way too much into that. Like when he's trying to like single them all out where they're all like at that table or whatever.
Let me
at the
ask
end.
you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that if that opening half hour was cut off and that part came at the hour and a half point instead of the 2 hour point, it would have been better? Because it wasn't such
Maybe,
a
yeah.
drag, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I felt like it was, I was starting to feel the length toward the end.
Yeah, I would have cut
Drag.
the first 20 minutes out. Would have
Yeah.
been fine.
I would like to see like more events. If you think about it, like not a lot happened on the train. Like there wasn't like a lot of events. Like like Josh Gad's character ran away, Michelle Pfeiffer got stabbed,
Oh.
and
Josh Gad's character running away, I just thought was so pointless.
yeah, like
He just runs away and falls in the snow.
if you think about it, like that's really the only things that really happened on the train. Like there wasn't like a lot of like excitement that happened on there, and
Just all interrogation, right?
yeah, and even like the interrogation was just like okay, but like I feel like I wanted to have like more things, like more misdirects on the actual train. I think that would have been really good.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Could have been handcuffed by the source material on that
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot it was
that's true.
remake.
because it is like I guess like interviewing people trying to figure out who done it.
Yeah, but like again, they can vary if they want to. Like throw a couple of extra things. As long as it all comes around to the end to like the same kind of outcome, then I'm okay with the rest.
Give it 10 years, they'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Fingers
Giving it that long.
fingers crossed.
hopefully 10 years.
Hopefully.
Uh,
I think a better director could have spiced it up. I think Kenneth Branagh went a little too like I was saying.
Traditional.
Yeah. Perfect word.
I like the traditional. I just think that
Yeah.
maybe his attention might have been stressed a little bit.
I think if he acted in it, it would have been fine.
Yeah,
Because like he was goofy, but he was like he's charismatic. I like
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh.
I thought his
Him-
performance was great.
Him laughing at the book that he was reading was hilarious.
yeah.
That was hilarious.
So good.
Willem Dafoe.
I mean, they somewhat set up
Willem
a
Dafoe.
potential sequel,
Murder on the Nile.
right? Murder on the Nile.
Yeah,
How much money did this movie make?
Not much.
Not
It
much.
probably won't happen, but it's
Ouch.
interesting. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be setting up a sequel. It's just some random little tidbit.
it's cool I left like
But
that.
the fact that if people, we know that there is a book sequel, so
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
maybe like 10 years they make the Murder on the Nile.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Kenneth Branagh.
I'd see it,
Said
honestly.
65.
I
It's
enjoyed
Kenneth
it.
Branagh. Different murder mystery, you know.
Yeah, I'd be
I'd
okay
check it
with
out.
that.
I liked his character.
I like the genre.
Johnny Depp? What do we think of Johnny Depp? What do we
I liked him.
yeah?
He's
Yeah,
good.
he's nice and a little bit. It wasn't quite as JD as usual.
Yeah, he did something like his voice was a little different. Like his
Scumbag.
energy was different. Yeah, I liked him a lot.
I thought everyone was good, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I don't really have anything bad to say about anyone.
Judi Dench surprised me for some reason. Like her character was like it was smaller. She didn't have like a lot to do, but like just like seeing her as like I'm just so used to seeing her as M. I guess like seeing her doing this was like wow, this is different. She played M for like fucking 10 years.
It is nice to see Daisy Ridley because at least I've only ever seen her in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's all I've seen her.
So it's cool to see her do something else and do a little bit different character. I
She
don't
was
know.
different. I liked it.
So
Yeah.
she portrayed some like a lot of emotion. In her
It's hard for
performance.
these people to sort of break out of their not stereotype, but they're like typecasting.
Yeah.
Like, so it's good to see her try and
The roles that
do
made them
different things early.
Yeah.
Because you worry that these people, you know, like what's his name from
Daniel Radcliffe is hard.
Well, Daniel Radcliffe, he's doing good, but I'm thinking of Star Wars. What's his name? Hayden Christensen.
Oh yeah.
You know, like he was like a nobody, and then he did Star Wars. You know, Daisy Ridley did like one show in Britain, and then did Star Wars. So it's like
did a Ghibli movie. I've seen it. Shout out to that one.
Voice acting, yeah.
But,
is there anything else you guys want to bring up? Or is that...
I think that's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for our review of Murder on the Orient Express. Tim, where can people find us?
People can find us on Twitter at UpReal8, and you can find me personally on Letterboxd at UpRealTim, and on Instagram at TheCraftPundit.
You can do this, don't blow it. You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at UpReal8 Podcast. You can also find me on Letterboxd at UpRealTie.
You did it.
Good job, man.
Thanks,
You can find me on Twitter at Franny25 and Instagram and Letterboxd at UpRealAdam.
You can find myself, Scott, on Letterboxd at UpRealScott. And yeah, guys, if you enjoy this video, leave a like on it. Leave a comment below in the comment section. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, keep it real.